Top 3 exchanges with no KYC. Today we're going to be looking at MEXC, WEEX, and Blofin. Now each of them are going to have different promotions, different products, different coin selection, a different amount you can withdraw without KYC, different limitations on how much you can trade or different leverage amounts. And we're going to get into that in this video because you want to know how to get your full value when it comes to these things. And if you've been watching this channel for a while, we're shorting cryptocurrency. We want to short a lot of the new coins because that is the biggest opportunity in this type of market. As you know, most cryptocurrencies go to zero, and for us to make money on that, we want to short it. So I'm going to short some coins as an example, and you can see some coins that I have been shorting, and this will be a test case of what's been happening in the market. And if my thesis is correct, these are just my opinions. And if you follow a lot of crypto content creators, you know it's hard to be right most of the time, and most of the time we're wrong. So I'll leave that up to you. We're going to shill some cryptocurrency exchanges and some links because it does provide a better experience than the decentralized world, just because of limited liquidity, limited coin options, and the amount of friction there is when having to get into all these decentralized platforms. So using a centralized exchange does make a lot of sense here if we want convenience. I know DeFi is freedom, but CeFi is convenience. So we're going to go with convenience in this video because that's what we do here. We want to keep life comfortable and we want to make money while we're doing that. So that's why we're going to short some cryptocurrencies. Now, if you're living in the US, you might have some issues here. A VPN, a dedicated IP address that is your VPN, might be the answer. Just saying that a lot of these opportunities aren't available to people that are on Coinbase, that are on PayPal, that are on Robinhood when it comes to cryptocurrency, because those services don't provide the same type of products that you can get globally. So with that, I'm Dan, and let's dive in. Now, first off, I just want to emphasize that using leverage is dangerous. I've been shorting cryptocurrency for the last few months and was successful up until Trump paused the tariffs, and then I was apparently using too much leverage and got liquidated, so I got greedy. So whenever you are new to trading, you really want to risk what you can afford to lose. Otherwise, you can get liquidated. So trading with leverage is very dangerous, and we're going to get into that in this video as we go into different examples. So starting with MEXC, they do ban US users. But if you have a VPN that is a dedicated IP address that is outside, it could work. You can see that I have this account. I haven't gone through KYC. I am unverified. But even if you are unverified, you can have crypto withdrawals for up to 10 BTC per day. That is a lot. You don't get access to fiat trading, so that means you can't trade against the US dollar or the euro, but you have access to crypto trading, which means you have access to USDT trading pairs, which you're very likely going to do anyway. So this is kind of how MEXC works, that there is limitations, but not much, because 10 BTC per day is a lot. That is a lot of money. And if you want to have access to this and are located in a country that is banned, and that is countries like Iran, China, and the United States, you would need a VPN to access this. Even if you are approved with KYC and you try to access MEXC from the United States, you as a registered user who is allowed to use the platform won't be able to do that because they ban certain IP addresses. So you gotta get around that. That's the only solution to that. Then we have WEEX, or WEEX Exchange. It is another no KYC crypto platform. They're not as detailed when it comes to what the withdrawal limits are, but I have heard from the VP during different panels that they don't ask for any identification until you try to withdraw $300,000. And that's $300,000 at one time. So for the most part, you're going to be okay with this. And then we have Blofin. So if you don't have any verification on your account, you can withdraw up to 20,000 USDT every 24 hours. So if you withdraw 20,000 USDT, you have to wait 24 hours to withdraw another 20,000 USDT. And those limits can be withdrawn if you provide your personal information for verification. Now let's quickly talk about personal information verification. otherwise known as KYC, Know Your Customer. Now, this is when you provide your personal information like your passport, your home address, your phone number, your full name to the crypto exchange. They have to verify who you are so they know who their customer is. And this is just to meet anti-money laundering laws where they know who are using these exchanges. Now, that doesn't necessarily work because hackers like North Korea, just for example, buy KYC'd accounts. Those are customer accounts that already have been verified for very cheap. So they buy these hacked accounts and then they use those to launder funds. Whereas if you do go through KYC, if there's a data breach, your life could be at risk because if you have a lot of cryptocurrency and the hackers find out about that, they're going to target you. Now, there have been some unconfirmed reports that this happened with Coinbase, which is why we saw some hacks that were in the hundreds of millions of dollars. So just something to consider, that just because an exchange isn't doing any KYC doesn't really make it dangerous, because there are DeFi alternatives as well, but that experience just isn't there yet. It just isn't as good as a centralized platform that provides all these different products and services in one place. Now, there are a lot of different crypto exchanges that provides derivatives. This is when you can actually short a cryptocurrency or use leverage. And there is a difference between the amount of coins that are available, the amount of leverage they provide, and the amount of liquidity they have. Because when a coin provides liquidity to an exchange, there's only so much you can trade before the price starts changing. So that's just something to consider. And if you're just trading a small amount, then it won't really make a significant difference, but it is something to consider. Now, let's talk leverage. Leverage allows you to trade more than you actually have, but you can lose your money a lot quicker. So let's say you're on MEXC, they let you access 400x leverage. So if the price goes up 1%, you make 400% essentially, but then you also have to consider all the different fees. But if the price drops by 0.25%, even a little less than that, you're liquidated, you lose all your funds. So MEXC gives you 400%, for 400x leverage. Sorry, I went I just lost my train of thought there because I saw the price dump and then I could have made 400x 400%. Yeah, I'm super distracted right now. WEEX or WEEX allows you to get 400x leverage as well, and Blofin allows up to 150x on Bitcoin. Now, this is absolutely not something you want to do, so leverage doesn't really matter, because if you are going to short a coin, 1x is pretty good. You can do 1x. So let's take a look at some of the coins I am shorting. I'm going to have another video soon explaining this. So I am shorting Particle, Kaito, Nil, Aptos, and Story Protocol. And for the most part, I am up. So Particle Network, even at 1x, has been the most. So Particle Network, or Party USDT, has been the most profitable at a 21% gain with just using 1x leverage. So I'm just saying the coin is going to go down over time. So by me shorting or selling the coin at 1x, I am betting that the coin is going to go down in price. And with no leverage, if the price just drops by 20%, my investment goes up by 20%. Now, the only leverage I am using here is with Kaito. That is 3x, and that is, I'm going to say, a little high if you're not really watching the markets, where, if we are short long term, we don't really want to get liquidated. We just want to believe that these coins are going to go down over time, and we want to make money slowly off that. And there are strategies like shorting new coins as soon as the attention is gone, or even just immediately. So kind of look for either new coins or coins that have unlocks. So I am doing a case study for a video that you're going to see very soon, which kind of explains my theory on shorting all of these. So let's say we want to short a cryptocurrency, and there's a few things we want to do. We want to open a position, and we want to make sure it's isolated. You never want cross, because cross can liquidate everything you have there, whereas isolated will only liquidate what's in that position, specifically for the coin we're trading. So let's do something for this video. I don't know if we're going to do 400x. Let's do 2. We'll do 2x. We're not trying to get too crazy, because if you are new to this, you really shouldn't be using that much, because it's really hard to predict what's going to happen in the market, and we want to grow our portfolio slowly over time, which is something I'm still trying to learn, because sometimes I also use too much leverage, and if I could tell myself not to do that, I would. I would go back in time, tell myself not to do that, and I would do very well if I am investing for the long term. So let's say we're doing 2x, and we can either go short or long. So it says open long or open short. And then we also want to choose our leverage. So we make sure we have isolated selected and the amount of leverage we would like. So if we are investing 24 USDT, oh, I see it pumping, maybe it's a good time to short. And if we zoom into the lower right, we can see that we would be opening a position with a value of 21 USDT. So we get a preview of how much we're going to open and what that would look like for the liquidation price if we're going short or long. You can see that we have an open position here at the bottom. Now that we zoomed in, we can see some details on our position. We have a 2x short against Bitcoin, which I am very long term on, so this is not something I want to really keep open. I also realized I only have $24 in this account. Now this is because this is a brand new account and I wanted to test out if no KYC is still accurate, and as long as you have an IP address outside the US, that seems to be true. It says that our position value is 42 USDT, but the actual amount we invested was 21 USDT. The liquidation price, which means if Bitcoin hits $126,942, we lose all of our funds. The margin ratio, this measures the risk of the user's positions. The lower the margin ratio, the less risky the position. When the margin ratio reaches 100%, you will be forced liquidated. And then our realized P&L, and then we can add TP or SL, so that's take profit or stop losses, and we can also reverse it. So right now we have a 2x short. If we want to reverse the position, we can do that, and this would set up a market order for our entire position. So let's say Trump does something where global markets rally and all the markets are pumping. We do not want to be shorting. We want to reverse our position very quickly, and we just reverse it, hit confirm, and now instead of a 2x short, we have a 2x long. Now for myself, I have a different strategy when shorting cryptocurrencies. I want to short new coins that maybe raise too much money, that don't have a lot of demand, and that's what I'd be looking at. And that's how you get started trading cryptocurrency, where you can actually short and take advantage of a lot of these cryptocurrencies that go down to zero. If you want to support the channel, I do have referral links in the description. That helps me out. And with that, I hope you got your full value for today.